And I'm with all the BS. On HollywoodBS. Oh, yes, yeah. So, for those who don't know, movies are not shot in order at all, right? So the first scenes that we shot for Straight Outta Compton was the scenes actually in Compton where I go pick up Dre from getting out of jail. For the most part, you jump in a van and like it takes you to set and it's all like, personal, right? But I was like, damn that, we left lunch and was like, we gonna walk to set, right? So we walking and they got this shit taped off, some yellow tape. So we like, we part of the movie, don't worry. They was like, no, don't cross the tape. We was like, we're part of the movie. They was like, this ain't. I'm sorry, what? They had a nigga stretched out, like somebody got killed. It was like crazy. It was like, damn. Like shit was still happening in Compton, like as we were shooting this movie, right? I remember days where it was like super intense, like we were getting support from everywhere, but you could literally cut the tension with a knife. It was like Crips, Bloods, Mexicans, Hoovers, everybody just standing in their own little spot, just watching. You know what I mean? But they was like all there to like support us, I remember we had to shut down Laurel Canyon in order to do the riot scenes, and traffic is already bad in LA, right? But it was super backed up because they, shut down the whole street. So people would be like, man, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? And then they get up there and they see us doing the riot scenes and they're like, yeah! Because they just wanted us to get it right. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting so much love from so many people. I remember when I met Laylaw. He was the founder, I guess, of the group Above the Law. So I'm doing some scenes, and I come back to my trailer, and they got like 10 blood niggas standing in front of my trailer. So I'm like, excuse me, you know what I mean? I had to make my way through these motherfuckers. I get in my trailer, and a cloud of smoke just flies out my shit. I'm like, what is going on? And Laylaw is just in there chilling in my trailer, like, and I'm thinking to myself, how did this nigga get past security? You know what I mean? And they like, oh no, we do this shit for real. And I'm like, okay. And they was like, nah, we just heard that you were doing a good job. We wanted to come out and support. Problem came out and supported. Nipsey Hussle came out and supported. It was just like nothing I had ever seen. We knew that we was doing something great in the process. So I just felt like I couldn't slip. I was so locked into what I was doing that I remember I got this little cold and I started thinking to myself, maybe I can embrace this. Maybe I could just like not take medicine and not do none of that and actually really be sick and really feel sick and see how it plays for me. So that was going good, and then my family ended up coming in town and Dre was like, I got a gift for you. I was like, all right. So he took me to the Peninsula Hotel and gets me the best room there. Now, it was no longer a room, right? We had to leave out the back of the hotel, go up these huge grand steps to like this 3-bedroom private villa situation, right? And then I started thinking to myself, this must have been what Eazy had to feel like, dying, thinking to himself like, I'm about to leave all of this behind because I'm sick. Like, what the fuck? So it was something that I really tapped into, and it was my first time ever really using a method skill, but it was right where I needed it to be. It really, really was, because it turned into something different. You know what was trippy? Like, I had met Ice Cube, right, when we did like the Big 3 photo shoot with him and Dr. Dre and all of that. But like, he was shooting right along too while we were shooting Straight Outta Compton. So the first time we shot in South Central, like those first scenes in the movie, when the batter ram comes and all of that, we shot that actually in South Central around the corner from where Cube and F. Gary Gray grew up, right? The hood was like there for us, for sure. You know what I mean? They was coming out the crib, like giving us different stuff, giving us edibles, all type of shit. Like, we was out there till like 4 a.m. They had people sleeping in sleeping bags and shit on their roof just watching. The part at the very beginning of the movie where I like pull up, get the stuff out the trunk and walk up to the door, it's super technical, right? I literally had to walk up, I had to pull up, hit a sandbag, get out of the car with the screwdriver and make sure the screwdriver was hitting the light, open up the trunk, lean my leg over to the curb so I wasn't casting a shadow inside of the trunk. You know, doing all of this technical shit. I had no idea that all of these people was even out there watching until I finally got it right, and then everybody started clapping. I was like, what the fuck? This shit was crazy. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning, right? It was super, super wild. So right after I finished that, I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna finally give me a break. I go back to my chair. Somebody done stole my whole chair. So somewhere in South Central is somebody right now sitting in the director's chair that says Eazy-E on the back of it. You know what I mean? Because they give no fucks, like, at all. Like, it was, man, it was a good time. When Straight Outta Compton premiered, right? I mean, of course, I wasn't rich yet. You feel me? So, like, my immediate family, my sister, brother, mama, you know, my mama, husband, flew all of them out. And the rest of the tickets that I had, because they gave me like 20 tickets, I gave the rest of the tickets to people who could potentially give me jobs. You know what I mean? Other directors, other producers, just people that I was meeting. I was like, fuck that, tell them to come. It's gonna be the best audition of my life, because I was really excited about my performance, right? Needless to say, that went great. We got to the after party, and it was the biggest work day of my life. I met Quincy Jones that day too. I met a lot of people, but I smoked with Snoop that day. Like, it was really dope. Actually, Snoop came up to me with like tears in his eyes, just thanking me for the different perspective that I had given him. Because even though Eazy had trailblazed so much, it was impossible for him to see things from that angle, because, you know, Eazy and Suge had that beef. At the time, he was riding with Death Row. You see what I'm saying? So he was like, I just appreciate what you did. Like, it was super dope. I'm like, damn, like, I didn't realize I had shook the culture. I also didn't realize that I was like still at work. You know what I mean? I was trying to go do my thing with my friends, and my publicist just had me by the wrist, just dragging me around. Like, nah, you gotta meet this person, you gotta meet that person. So I'm like, all right, cool, you know? So then we started going from city to city to city, just doing, I'm talking about press junkets, sitting through, I mean, we probably did 200-300 interviews, easy. Like, just going from city to city to city to city. And then we left the States and went and did the international tour, right? That was my first time ever being on a private jet too. That shit was dope, right? I remember, like, I was super nervous to pull my phone out, and I'm sitting there like, I really want to put this on camera, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. As soon as I lifted my phone up, Cube was like, this ain't Southwest, nigga. This ain't Southwest, nigga. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Cube just got on my shit. I was like, man, it was such a good time, right? And all we kept seeing in the papers was like, the numbers are climbing, the numbers are climbing. And we had this moment in Germany where there was like a stampede, right? Like, I had never seen people running and then people fall and then people get ran on top of. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening, right? But we're moving super quick. So I'm not knowing what's happening. I'm paying so much attention to the stampede that I'm like, this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, Ice Cube is a different kind of star. I look up and they're like, watch your step. And I'm like, all right. So we go up these few little steps. Next thing you know, we on stage. They hand me a mic and Cube like, you can do it, put your back into it. I'm like, you can do it, put your ass into it. I just was like, I ain't know what to do. So I just start rapping. I said, fuck it. I'm out here. You know what I mean? So next thing you know, I'm like performing on stage with Ice Cube. I look up and they had the biggest poster of me that I had ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? So I'm like frozen on stage with Ice Cube. Tears are like welling up in my eyes, and that nigga looking at me like, nigga, put your back into it. And so I'm like, all right, I'm back. You know, but it was just like this super surreal moment, you know, it almost felt fake. You know, so we finally get back to the States, and, you know, I go back to Hollywood, and I'm like, I'm gonna walk to the store one more time. I'm gonna feel this one more time, you know what I mean? Because this is probably gonna be the last time that I'm gonna do this shit. So I'm walking to the store, you know, and normally, when you walk through the hood, everybody be having a little something, you know, a little blick or something, you know what I mean, to make sure nothing happens. But I'm like, that life is behind me now. I'm not tripping. But then my spidey senses start tingling, right? And I'm like feeling people watching, looking, and I'm like, oh, damn. Shouldn't have left it at the crib, right? So I'm walking a little more brisk. I put a little pep in my step, and I get to the store, and all of these people are outside, and I'm thinking, oh Lord, they about to rob the fuck out. This is how it ends. This is where I got, right? The Arab dude like, you want me to lock the door? Do you want me to lock the door? I'm like, fuck it. I ain't even tripping. Then people start coming in and they just like, yes, Eazy-E. They bucking for me. They like, dawg, like it was my first star moment. You know what I mean? And to have that moment in my hood, man, listen, forever New Orleans. You hear me? I love y'all. I love y'all. That moment changed my fucking life. You hear me? Now I'm a star, bitch. Oi. Honestly, fam, did you like that? Did you like that video that you just watched? If you did, you can watch this one right here. Or you could like, you know, click the subscribe button, maybe like smash the bell. You know what I mean? Check the next one out, you get me?